Hey guys, welcome back to another declutter video. Last time we decluttered my foundations and primers. Now we're going to concentrate on this half of the drawer. So here we have all my blushes, bronzers, highlighters and setting powders, and we're just going to go through these and see what I want to keep and what I want to pass on. So back here we have the Makeup Revolution Sugar and Spice palette, and this is what it looks like inside as well. It's a really beautiful palette. It has big bright pops of pink, it has like a coral shade here, and then these two shades, these nude barely there shades, and then you've got your baked blushes here as well. I do really like this palette. It's a nice versatile palette, so I'm definitely holding on to this. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not even sure if I'm going to get rid of any of these blushes because I have a weakness for blushes as well. This one here is Soft Spoken by NYX. It's just a really pretty peachy kind of blush. It's another one I love to reach for in the spring and summer months, so I'm definitely going to be holding on to that. This is another blush from NYX. This is my NYX blush in taupe. It's seen much better days. I am going to hold on to it until I can get another one, but I'm not even going to open this because it's completely broken up, as you can see. But I'm definitely holding on to this. I really like contouring with it. It's a great shade for fairer skin. Next we have my Urban Decay Afterglow blush. I love the packaging for this. I just think it's really nice. At a certain angle, so if I can get it, you can kind of see the colour that's inside. I think that's what they were meant to do, but you can only get it in a certain light, so I don't know, it doesn't work that great, but it's a really nice packaging. This one is in the shade Score. It's just, again, it's like a really nice bright pinky peach shade. And it does have some shimmers in it, so if you're not into shimmers in your blushes, then probably pass on this. But I love this blush and I'm definitely going to keep hold of it. Okay, so this is technically a bronzer, but I might as well do it while it's next in the queue. I'm sure you've all seen this bronzer before. This is a pretty nice bronzer. It's slightly too orangey for me, but I do really like it, and I love the fact that this packaging is customized as well, so I'm definitely going to hold on to this. I told you guys I probably wasn't going to get rid of any blushes, but this is my well-loved Rocateur. If you are not new to my channel, you guys know that I adore this blush. It's just a beautiful, I almost describe it like a rose gold. It's just a stunning blush. These smell amazing too, but then again, if you're not into scented face products, then don't go for this. But it's just a beautiful blush, and it has just a slight really nice shimmer running through it, and yeah, I love it, so I'm definitely keeping hold of that. Next we have the Collection Gorgeous Glow Blush Brick, and this is another favourite of mine. I like using this through the spring and summer months, and you don't really even need to use a highlighter with this blush because it is pretty glowy enough on its own. I've just swatched it there, I don't know if you guys can see, but it has like a nice gold shimmer running through it. And I just love it for the summertime. I think it's a really beautiful blush and great for a drugstore price as well, because this was not expensive. I have two of these Urban Decay Flush palettes. I'm definitely keeping both. The first one is the original Naked Flush palette, and this is very well loved. I've kind of hit pan in the corner there. The bronzers in these are, again, slightly too orange for me, but if I just use it as bronzer and not a contour, I can get away with it. And I do like the highlight as well. Even though it is an all-in-one kind of bronzer highlight blush palette, I like taking these away with me because sometimes I just use the bronzer and the highlight as shadows as well. Then I don't have to take so many products with me when I'm traveling. So definitely keeping hold of that one. This one is in Native. This is a newer palette to me. Sam got this for me, and it is really beautiful. Although it doesn't look like I've really worn it, I have worn it a couple of times and I absolutely love it. This blush does look really scary at first, but with a light hand it can just look like a really beautiful wash of pink on the cheeks. And this highlighter is a much better shade for me as well. So definitely holding on to that one. Lastly, for blushes, I have these Sleek blushes here. These are from the, what was it called? I can't remember what the collection was called. Was it All the Love of the Fun Fair? I think it's that collection. It was that pastel collection anyway. I think it is All the Love of the Fair or something like that. These are like water-based gel blushes. Again, really fun colours. And they smell really nice as well. Let's just give it a little swatch there. So this shade is in... Oh, that's it. The Whimsical Wonderland collection. It says it on the actual packaging if I read it. Oh, this one is in Tomfoolery. And it's just this dark... It looks way more intimidating in the package, but it comes off really nice, like a nice wash of colour. This one here, which is again really intimidating, is called Lickety Split, and then this one here is called Hullabaloo. I have to admit I don't use them as much as I should, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a pile where I need to start using them, and if I don't, then they're probably going to have to go in my next declutter video, which is a shame because they're really, really nice blushes. I'm not really a fan of cream blushes, but I like this water-based formula. I just think they're really pretty shades, and they don't tend to mess with my foundation either, so I probably need to start getting use out of those. Otherwise, I'll end up passing them on to somebody that will. So as predicted, that was a fail on all of my blushes. I didn't get rid of a single one, but I know that I'm going to get rid of some products in my highlighters and setting powders area, so bear with me. Rimmel Stay Matte. Great drugstore setting powder, especially if you have oily combo skin, which I don't even really know why I got this. I think because it's so cheap and everybody raves about it. Sometimes it's really good if I do get a little bit oily in the summertime, but I rarely get much use out of it, and I feel like someone else would get a bit of use out of it than I would, so I'm going to pass that one on. Then we have my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Again, if you watch my videos, you know I love this stuff. I'm definitely keeping this. It's a great under eye setting powder, really finely milled, and I just love the way it makes my eye area look brighter and more awake as well, so I'm definitely keeping hold of that. This next product here is the Ben Nye Luxury Powder. This is in Cameo. Again, this was really raved about on YouTube, but I don't know, I think I'm going to pass this on because every time I've used it, I've not really liked how it's looked on me. I feel like it looks really obvious and powdery, so even the smallest amount I use, I just can't get on with it, and I feel like it's a waste because there's quite a lot in there and it's just sitting there in my drawer not being used, so I'm going to pass this on. Next, I'll just get this out the way. This is my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This is in here instead of with the eye products because I count it as a base product, so when I get out my foundations, concealers and everything, I count this as almost a concealer for my eyelids, which is why it's in here. It keeps my eyeshadows on all day and it's just a really, really awesome primer, so definitely holding on to that. Lastly, I have highlighters to get through, so let's start with this one. This is the Too Faced Candlelight highlighter. Love this highlighter. It's more subtle than some of the other eye highlighters that I own, but it's just really, really pretty. Look at that. It's just beautiful. So I'm definitely keeping hold of that. It even has like a chandelier, although that's faded now because I've used it so much. But just really pretty packaging as per usual with Too Faced, and just a really beautiful highlighter. So definitely keeping hold of that one. Next is the famous The Balm's Merry Luminizer. Definitely, this is... Look how broken mine is though. I need to be really careful. As you can see, it's much more intense than that Too Faced highlighter. So when I want a really nice strong highlight, I love using the Balm's Merry Luminizer. Next we have this NYX Illuminator. This is in the shade Ritualistic. I don't really love this. I feel like it looks really, really gold or yellow on my skin, so I'm definitely going to pass this on. Let's open it up. It looks okay in there. It looks really, really pale. But once it's swatched, I'll show you that, it looks way too dark on my skin. It just looks really weird, and I'm not really a fan of the texture as well, so I think I'm going to pass that on. Next is this MAC powder. This is in, what is it? It's Silver Dusk. This is really, really old. I don't even know if you can get this anymore. It is super glittery as well, but I used to be obsessed with this. Just watch it there, like look at that. It is really, really beautiful. I mean, it's really glittery though, so if you're not into... I mean, that's ridiculously glittery, so I don't really use it anymore. I think it's great for the eyes, but for highlight I don't really use it. So plus it's like really old now, so I think it's time to pass it on. But I used to love this, and by pass it on I mean probably get rid of it because it's so old. Okay, next highlighter. This is a high street / drugstore highlighter. This is from Makeup Revolution. It's the Vivid Baked highlighter, and this is in Peach Lights. I'm not a fan of it. I think the texture's, it's quite a rough texture. It's very dry, and it's just there on the gross part of my wrist, but it looks pretty, but I don't know, I just don't like the texture of it, and I rarely ever reach for it, so I think someone else could get better use out of this highlighter if I'm honest. This is the Feeling Younger Skin Tint from Lush, and I haven't used this yet. Well, I've used it under my eyes, but I'm actually going to do a first impression when highlighting my cheekbones. I saw a girl on Instagram, I can't remember who it was, but a makeup company showed a girl using this on Instagram, and I really, really loved it. So I actually got this for Christmas because I asked for it, and the first day I got it, when opening it, I tried to open it like that and spilled a bunch of it on the floor. So there's still a ton in there, but that was still quite sad. Let me open it up. I'll swatch it for you guys. This is what it looks like inside. So it's still quite full, but there was much more in there. It's like literally filled to the top. You only did a tiny bit. That was way too much. It's a really nice, almost like a champagne-y kind of highlighter. Although it technically is a skin tint. They did say this was good for the under eye area, which is where I did try it, but no, it just looks like, it looks really weird under the eyes because it's so shimmery, so I wouldn't recommend it for that. But I can't wait to do a first impression when I actually use this as a highlighter, which is what I got it for in the first place. Lastly, we have the Sleek Solstice highlighting palette. I'm not going to be getting rid of this. I love this palette. This is another one that I use a ton. It's just really beautiful, great for my skin tone. I thought these were going to be too dark for me, but they actually work really, really well. I don't really use this cream highlighter though, but I do use the rest of them, so definitely keeping hold of that. And then these are the swatches. You've got the cream one here. This is the cream highlighter. Then you have the cream powder highlighter, the peachy one, and then the lilac-y pink highlighter. They're just all really, really beautiful. So this does not look impressive at all, but this is everything that I'm keeping, mostly blushes, and this is everything that I'm getting rid of. So I think I did really well with the setting powders. I only have one setting powder now, and highlights I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 highlighters, and I've gotten rid of 3. So take the blushes out of there, I feel like I've done really well with the other products. Okay guys, so that was my face powder products declutter. Next I'm going to be moving on to single eyeshadows, and I know for a fact that I'm probably going to be getting rid of a lot of single eyeshadows because I just don't use them. Singles and mini palettes basically, and I feel like I'm going to do a much better job on that than I did with this. But yeah, there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.